Hi, so we are going to go over triangles. We know that a triangle has three sides, but what about those sides? And also, what about those angles? So we are going to go over how to classify triangles by their sides and by their angles. So first, let's talk about how we can classify them by their sides. So we have an equilateral triangle. All sides are the same length, as you can see. This side and this side and this side are all the same length. So we would call this again an equilateral triangle. Now let's move on to an isosceles triangle. At least two sides are the same length. So this side, I see that this side and this side are the same length. However, this bottom side seems like it looks a little longer than the other two sides. Okay, so we wouldn't indicate that that's the same length. We wouldn't put that dash. So, and again, an isosceles triangle, at least two sides are the same length. We have seen a triangle while we were in class. We have seen a triangle that looks like this. Okay. My drawing is a little bit off, but we get the point. So we have seen, I know we have seen a triangle that looks like this. This is another example of an isosceles triangle, where these two sides are the same length. However, this bottom side is way shorter. So we cannot indicate that that's the same length. So we would call this triangle an isosceles triangle. Now let's move on and let's look at scalene triangle. No sides are the same length. As you can see in here, you have some sides that are shorter than the other, and you have some sides that are longer than the other, and none of them are the same length. So we call that, again, a scalene triangle. So now we have reviewed how to classify a triangle by its sides. Let's move on and review how to classify a triangle by its angles. First, we have a right triangle. How do we know that it's a right triangle? It has one angle is a right angle. So we can indicate that angle to be a right angle by drawing that box right there. We can see that that's a right angle. So when one angle is a right angle, you would say that is a right triangle. Now let's move on to acute triangle. All three angles are acute angles. When I look inside this triangle, I see that this is an acute angle. Here's another acute angle and another acute angle. So when all of my angles are acute, we would call this an acute triangle. And again, acute triangle is open less than a right triangle, or than a right angle, excuse me. Now let's move on. Obtuse triangle. One angle is an obtuse angle. Yes, I see that there's two acute angles. However, there is an obtuse angle in there. So when it has one angle that is obtuse, we would call that an obtuse triangle. I hope this video helps. You can always come back to this video to help you with your assignment.